Nottingham University Hospitals NHS Trust is one of the trusts which serves my constituents, and for people who have been patients there who have had babies that have come to harm, some of whom I have met, Donna Ockenden's report is very difficult reading indeed. But I do just want to say, in respect of the staff, the many often junior and low paid staff on the front line at that trust who are providing kind, compassionate, person-centred care, who will be feeling very raw today. We do value what you do. We've heard a lot about the appalling practices in the mortuary. They're subject to a criminal investigation, but I do just want to reflect on the experience of one of the several constituents I've met who have been affected by what we're discussing today. She came to see me as part of Donna Ockenden's inquiry, and sadly she had engaged with the trust on a number of occasions because she felt she was experiencing complications with her pregnancy. She was told to lie down and drink a fizzy drink, have an early night, and despite repeated calls she was repeatedly fobbed off, and sadly her baby died. Behind that is a culture of a failure to engage, a very poor culture at the trust, so poor that FOH was written in patients' medical notes and on whiteboards, F off home. How could leaders not be more curious about the practices that were going on their watch, and where were the regulators? It is absolutely staggering. We are making some very positive changes in the NHS, but I do just want to push the Secretary of State briefly, if I may, on changes that we're making to the mechanisms which allow people to feed back on their care. We are winding down the Office for the National Guardian and Health Watch, and we're removing NHS England, which has a regulatory function, and we know regulators have failed in the case of this trust. What steps can he take to assure me that the mechanisms for people to feed back on their care so that they will be heard and actioned will be in place so that we can prevent this kind of scandal happening again?
I thank my honourable friend for his comments and for telling us about what happened to his constituents. He asks about some of the wider changes that we're making in the NHS modernisation bill, which is to bring the patient experience across the NHS into the heart of the new organisation, which will arise from NHS England being merged into the Department for Health and Social Care. The reason why that is happening is so that patient experience drives the decisions which are being taken about how NHS care is delivered. So the patient experience is right at the heart of what we do as a department and as an NHS. But I think that when we talk about maternity and neonatal services and the failures there, the level of failure is truly devastating, as this report today has set out. It demands a specific response, which is why the work of the task force will start and report back by the end of the year. And as he points to, this is not just a case of individual cases going wrong or individual members of staff taking the wrong decision. It's also something which is endemic of showing the incuriosity of leaders in maternity services for what is going on and what is going wrong in their services. It is a failure of regulators. It is systemic, and that's why the response to it needs to step up accordingly.